I mean, I already started the record.
What's that record? Oh, now you started the record.
Yeah, I started that record.
There's too many records now.
You're welcome.
But the one on the box is important.
The box.
Oh, you mean this guy?
Yeah. The mixer box.
It's called a board,
A board, a mixer board.
not a box. That's a box. That's a board.
But it's shaped like a box.
You're shaped beautifully.
Shaped more like a pear.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Sean. I'm your host.
This is Kirk, the co-host.
Jeremy, permanent guest.
Yep. We want to say thanks for joining us. This is our 10th episode.
10.
Woo!
10.
10 or 10. 10. Yeah. I don't know.
You know,
Figure out how to pronounce it.
I think it's pretty awesome because think about it, right? So this idea of starting this cool little show, I don't know where it came from, but Kirk came over and I said, "Hey man, I just got this cool set with microphone. Let's do a fun little podcast." And then out of nowhere, Jeremy's bearded face comes looking through the window. He's like, "Hey guys, what y'all doing?"
I don't think that's how it started. It was in the garage.
No. The first one was in the office.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because it was just gonna be Kirk and I. And I was like, "Hey, why don't you come on over?" AKA, you're peeping through the window.
But you said come on over.
Yeah, I did.
And then we're all like crammed into this little tiny office, like
Now
2 inches away from each other.
Now we got all this space.
Man space.
All this garage space.
All this garage space. It's so hot. We're in Central Texas, everybody, and it's probably 95 degrees right now.
93.
93 degrees.
That's outside.
And we're in the garage.
No wind flow if you can't.
No wind at all.
I got a little wind over here.
I
wish you'd keep that wind.
yeah,
out
keep
the outside.
passing wind the other way. So
That's not what I meant.
we still love you, Kirk.
I know.
What I want us to do today, and I want to make sure that everyone who does follow the Rando podcast, they understand who we are, who they're listening to, and more importantly, why they're listening to us. So today, what I want to talk about is about our
what we want to talk about.
Kirkulus. That's your new name, is Kirkulus.
Kirkulus.
So we're going to talk about Jeremy a little bit. Jeremy's got a pretty cool story, and we'll get to what he accomplished last year a little later. But so Jeremy McGuire.
I mean, it's about time we start talking to the permanent guest.
Yeah, exactly. We need to figure out a little bit about you.
Well, we got to make you feel better about yourself.
I appreciate it.
Because you come in here.
I need it. I need the affirmation.
So Jeremy, give us, and I've got a few questions that I wrote down, but I want everybody to get a sense of who you are, and I think, and not to, don't take this the wrong way, but I think as people get to know you, they're going to see why we continue to bring you back. You're not just a voice for radio, but you do have a personality, and you do come from something good.
And bringing him along makes us look good too, because he's kind of the stud face as we go around, right? And all the ladies come up and start talking to Jeremy, and then we're like, "Hey, we're getting fans! Yay!"
I love how Kirk just put himself down.
Yeah, dude, speak for
Speak
for yourself, bro. I still got game.
It wasn't that he was bringing me up. It was just he was just.
I was trying to bring you down. I'd bring you up, but
he was putting him. But yeah, you put me in that category.
Yeah, and
man, my face is beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's as pretty as you want to think it is.
Yeah, that's all that matters, right?
Beautiful.
It's all about, thoughts.
I'm good enough. I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Jeremy, tell us. Let's just start off with. Tell us where you're from.
Born and raised Corpus Christi, Texas.
Corpus Christi.
The only thing more southern than Corpus Christi is Brownsville.
I don't think I've ever been to Brownsville.
It's pretty South Texas. Can't get much farther down the United States than there.
Kirk, didn't you just go to Corpus Christi?
No.
Oh no, your
The
wife
fam did.
Yeah.
They went and picked up a couple of sugar gliders for my daughter's birthday. So yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
Is that how they sound?
Yeah, when they glide through.
Yeah, I've been down there last year about this time, but never lived there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
cool story, bro.
Oh, you said didn't I just go down there? I was like,
Yeah.
no, I didn't.
I mean, yeah. So it's Corpus is probably just like New Braunfels. It's just hotter, and more humid.
And there's a beach.
Yeah.
And it's not
Well,
Germantown.
I mean, so it's not Germantown, but it's more Mexican village. But
Size-wise, it's about the size of New Braunfels.
New Braunfels has the river, Corpus has the beach.
Okay.
So if you don't like the sand, New Braunfels is great. Still get the water, but
about
no
the same
sand.
size.
I mean, Corpus is bigger. It's got its like smaller areas, like so you know how like San Antonio has Helotes and this and that. Like Corpus has Port A and Portland and
So just like New Braunfels.
well, New Braunfels doesn't have anything around it. That's considered part of New Braunfels.
Being facetious. You said it was like New
You
Braunfels.
can't even spell
All right,
facetious.
so how long did you live in Corpus Christi?
How old am I now?
I don't know.
I'm 30 years.
How old are you now?
34, I think.
Are you really?
I think.
I thought you were a lot younger than that.
I wish I was.
I thought you were high 20s and at least 30.
Well, sorry to disappoint.
No, now I understand.
Are you going to ask him what his sign is?
What is
Aquarius.
What does that mean though? What is Aquarius? What's great
That's
about
my
it?
sign.
I know that, but what's
You asked.
I know. I want you to explain what an Aquarius is.
It's the water barrier.
I don't understand all that.
That's
the water barrier.
Bearer.
Oh, bearer.
Like you
Okay.
bear gifts bearing water bearer.
Okay.
That's what an Aquarius is.
Okay.
So when did you move to
Stones and amethysts.
when did you move to New Braunfels?
So that's 2 years ago. Was in Seguin for a year. So there's the 3 years, and there's a little half a year in Harlingen, Texas, and another half year at Cal Allen or Annaville.
Due to work? For your work?
Yeah, well, so went down to Harlingen for a job opportunity. Didn't work out. Stayed there for half the year. Came back. Stayed in Annaville for basically half a year on my way back, and then that's where I ended up meeting future Mrs. McGuire when I was living out there, and then we got together, and then went back to Corpus, and then we were in Corpus for 8 more years. 9 years, and then we moved to Seguin. We moved to Seguin because we both were going to be moving up to or working in Kennedy, Texas, because we're both the oil field. And so when we were there, we picked Seguin because we found a place that would allow us to bring our dogs because we have way too many.
How many dogs do you have?
3 dogs, 3 cats, all inside.
Holy jeez.
And
You need another dog.
You want another dog?
you need to shut your mouth.
You do. What are those dogs called that you need?
We don't need any more dogs. And
I think
I don't
Shannon
like-
wants a small dog.
no,
Like, she
Shannon
a
wants
really close-
all the dogs, and we don't need any more.
You have 3 cats?
Yeah.
Where are the other 2? I feel like I've only seen one.
That's what cats do. There's only one that comes out with everyone, and he's might as well be a dog.
He's huge.
They're like evil spirits that live in your house. Like you just don't know where they are or what they're doing.
Yeah, 2 of them are like that. One of them is basically a dog. He comes out with when people are around. He just wants to be pet all the time. It's just what he does. So we were in Seguin for a year trying to figure out where we wanted to be, and then we basically were coming to New Braunfels every other day. So then you're like, okay, well, might as well look for somewhere in New Braunfels.
Because y'all lived on this street 3 months before
It's 3 or 4 months before y'all did,
before we did. Okay.
and that was about a year before them.
So I don't know what if
When
I
he
took.
says them, he means me.
Sorry,
My fam.
I was looking at the camera that's not currently live, and I just pointed at Kirk like this.
Well,
Sorry.
Just in case.
If you're on the YouTube
If you're on the YouTube, you saw me.
Yeah.
But if you're just in podcast land, you didn't see nothing.
podcast land,
It's where they live.
when we were looking at this house, and this is kind of what sold me, because Sandra really wanted the house, I didn't, just because I wanted a neighborhood that was a little bit more mature and a little older, bigger trees, and
Makes sense.
I was
Spread
kind of
out.
spread out, and I was a little concerned about the drive to my office. However, being a good husband that I am, a happy wife, happy life, really it didn't matter. This is the house we were going to move into anyway, whether I was
Right.
on board or not. We were going to move into it, but it made me feel better because then the girl who was her name Kelly that worked, Kelly said, "Oh, the neighbors are really cool," and I was like, "Okay, perfect, I'm in."
Which is good because when we bought this house, our other neighbors had already bought their house, but they were never there. Like they just moved in 6 months ago, and
6 months prior to you.
no, they bought the house like 4 months prior to us, but they just moved in 6 months ago, like from now.
No, they're people from Florida.
Yeah,
No, we saw them once.
right.
They were
but
over.
6 months ago.
They came down. They said hello, and then they went back to
That-
Florida.
There's no way that was 6 months ago.
Yeah,
Was it really?
yeah.
Man, where's the time gone?
Raising the roof over there.
I know. Whoa.
But so when we bought this house hadn't been purchased or anything. I looked at Kelly. I was like, "Look, I'll buy this, but I don't know who you're gonna sell to next door to me. But they better not be beep beep.
Like robots?
Insert explicit word.
Oh,
Okay.
And I was like, if they are, I'm leaving. I'll get rid of this house. I'll burn it to the ground. She's like, okay.
So that's a good thing I haven't seen a for sale sign out there.
Yeah. So it means
that's not
I
what you
approved.
said yesterday.
Yeah, don't tell them that.
That's awkward. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was good. Kelly was a great girl. We moved here and been having fun ever since.
Mm. And so what do you do in the oil field?
I'm a chemical tech.
What's a chemical tech do in the oil field?
Well, mainly I try and sell chemical to my customer to help them prevent or fix any issues that they have with their pipelines or separators, wellheads. It all depends on the application that we're using because we have different chemicals for different applications.
So you're on the sales side or the service?
Both. We try and sell, but we mainly like our day-to-day is service. But when problems arise, we sell because we're trying to
sell a certain product for that. Because there's multitude of chemical companies out there in the refineries right now and out in the field. So you're always trying to sell your product.
So with the testing piece that you do in the afternoons when we sometimes come over and watch you test water, it's exciting. What does that do, like when it comes to what you're doing?
So what that is what I'm doing is
there's so many particulates in the water. So I mean, like if you go into your tap, you can do a sample and you can tell like there's iron, magnesium, blah 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 blah. There's so many different things in there. So what we're doing is there's certain kind of bacteria that's natural forming. So we do a test basically to see how many bacteria are in that water sample in particular, and then that's what we base off of. So if it's a higher number, then we'll treat higher levels. If it's a lower level, we can not treat as much, so we can save the customer money. It all basically depends on how much is what's in there and what we need to fix and all that good stuff. So when I do those water samplings, that's what we're trying to find out is what's in the water.
Gotcha. All right. Exciting. So, you are a beast when it comes to working out.
I wouldn't go that far.
Like, it absolutely beating me and Sean into the ground half the time.
I mean, that's not saying much.
Well, I mean, true there. I'll give you that. Sean might get upset about that.
Think about Lear.
Yeah.
Well, that's different. He holds national records.
He put all three of us into the ground.
Yeah, as he should. He's a national athlete.
I'm pretty sure he benches more than we deadlift.
Yeah, he holds world records.
I'm just saying.
That's not the person you would compare yourself to say that you're a good athlete.
Right, but you're
you have to
athlete.
compare to someone great to be great.
I would say I'm a pretty good athlete, but I've just been on vacation for a long time.
Yeah, way too long for me. Sorry, I was agreeing with what you're saying.
I was getting close. I was almost putting you down again.
Gosh, come on, Kirk. Hey, I'm going to send you to sensitivity training.
I am sensitive. So
just when it comes to making fun of him.
Yeah. There was an interesting story that you guys have told a couple of times that y'all told me, but I met Jeremy when he was the workout guru running up and down the street with a weighted vest and everything else. But that's not where you started.
Absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
Not even remotely close.
So let me start the story with 2 years ago.
Take us back to Wonder Years.
At Wonder Years, 2 years ago, when we first moved in, I in my garage I have a full CrossFit setup. I've got the squat rack, the parallettes, the box, the barbell, bumpers, dumbbells,
row machine,
slam ball, punching bag,
There's a punching bag.
Kettlebells.
Yeah, right there in the corner.
There is a
kettlebells, whatever you
A
need.
good setup.
Yeah,
Good
a
setup.
pretty good setup that you wouldn't have to waste money if you went to the gym. And I would be out here like 2-3 days a week doing whatever I felt that I needed to do that day. And Jeremy, and I don't really know what happened. I think Jeremy one day said, "Hey man, we should do a workout." And what is that?
I think it's God beeping at us.
Hi. And he's like, "Hey, do you care if I come join you for a workout?" I'm like, "Yeah, but you better." I think I remember you better show up. I think it was one night we were out on the patio hanging
Yeah,
out.
I think we
and
were-
I go,
we were out
I start at 9 a.m. tomorrow. You better, show up. Where most people don't show up. And sure enough, he showed up on that Saturday morning. I don't know what we did. We should have recorded it the first time.
He came out just
Yeah. I think Jeremy, how much did you weigh then?
305 pounds.
305 pounds. And
That's where I was when I started.
that's where, yep.
Good
And
Lord.
that first day turned into another day, and I remember I started incorporating some running, and he's like, "Dude, I don't think I can run a half a mile." I'm like, "I think you can."
Which I couldn't.
Well, it's besides the point, right? You still went half a mile.
I still did it,
You still got there, but you may not have ran the whole way. But
just slower than your average bear.
yeah. So then it became Tuesdays and Thursdays. He got a membership at Gold's Gym, and Tuesdays and Thursdays he'd come here, and then the other days he'd go to Gold's.
Yep.
And then, so that was 2018. And then we went through Christmas and then New Year's. And then January of 2019, I'll let Jeremy tell that story from there.
Well, so January 2019. Well, so I've been going to Gold's now for, I don't know, at this point, like 6 or 7 months, going pretty regularly. And then, so there was people there that started recognizing me, seeing me come in, and like, "Hey, you're doing really good. You're coming in a lot. We're seeing you work. You're getting gains, and you're doing this." And I was like, "Thanks." And then a couple of the staff actually started noticing, like recognizing me coming in and this, that. Well, so Gold's Gym had a, what they call the Gold's Gym Challenge that came in, and it started in January. And what it was is you join in, and basically you get it's 12 weeks to transform your body as much as possible. And so I was doing really well those first like seven months, and I kind of hit a little plateau. I needed a kind of a kick in the rear to kind of push myself to the next level. And I really didn't want to do the challenge because I was trying to do this for myself. I didn't really want a time frame stamped on it or anything like that, but it kept coming up, and I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. I need something to change so I can work harder. So one of the staff there, her name's Aubrey. Shout out Aubrey, Coach Aubrey. Bam, bam. She really kicked my butt. So those 12 weeks, I worked out 7 days a week for those whole 12 weeks. My diet was the best diet on point I've ever had. I was counting calories. I had my meals planned out. I cooked once a week, every Sunday, cooked for 3 straight hours. Everything was set up. Everything was made. Everything was done. Never broke. Never cheated for that whole 12 weeks.
Kudos to you, man. Well, it's hard not to cheat on diets.
Yeah, especially with me next door, because I'm like, "Hey, let's eat wings.
It's fajita night.
It's fajita night.
So
Here's some bread."
So me and Shannon would come over. Shannon would eat with Sean and Sandra, and then I'd have my Tupperware, and I'd just be eating out of my Tupperware while they were eating whatever they were eating. But so I did that. So in that last 12 weeks, I ended up losing. It was 44 pounds. It was like something like 16 or 18 inches. And body fat, I think I lost like 11% body fat in that's 12 weeks.
Dang.
So now the big hoopla with the Gold's Gym thing is that if you got first place, it was like $6,500. Second place was $3,000. Third place was $1,000. So and they went by your age group. So like everybody in your 30s was male 30s was in their own group.
Mm-hmm.
So I got fourth.
Oh,
So
you got nothing.
So I got
No, he lost a ton of weight,
So
bro.
No, I'm just saying
I
nothing from Gold's Gym.
I got no monetary value,
But
so I did get 4th in the nation
nice.
for what I did, and I guess I was the prettiest one out of the 4 because they asked me to be part of their campaign for the next year's challenge. So if you guys have ever seen my face when you look on and you're like, you walk to the goals and like, man, that guy looks familiar on that poster, that's me.
We're basically sitting next to a celebrity.
A 15-minute celebrity.
Hey,
But
You get your 15.
some people
man.
have
I got
those
my-
one-hit wonders.
I got that 15 minutes. So yeah, we did the promotion. That
Did
was
you just say promotion?
Yeah,
I was
promotion.
I was gonna keep saying promotion, but I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Mm.
You just made up a new word, and that's cool.
So that was a really cool experience to do that.
He's in the biz.
To do that promotion for them. So like, I didn't even find out that I was even 4th till like 4 months after it was over.
Hmm.
So I think that was the other part of it, was that to do the photo shoot and everything, you had to have kept up with what you did. So the guys in front of me, they could have. I don't know. I don't know what happened to them because I wasn't privy to that information. But there's a strong possibility that they hit their goals and then they just kind of like fell off the wagon, and so they couldn't do the promotion for Golds because they didn't look what they should. So I don't know, but for me, I kept up with it. That's when I started changing because I got out of Golds. I started doing stuff with Sean again because like when I was doing the Golds thing, it was very, very strict. I was very, very
Dedicated.
oriented. Well, I had a set routine, and I was doing that routine straightforward. I didn't want to vary because like it was like tunnel vision for at that point. But the promotion I did was really cool because they flew me out to Dallas, and I got to meet 3 other of the winners from around the nation, which was like the girl in my age group, and the male and female in the age group above us.
Did you get to meet Mr. Gold?
Yes, I actually got to shake the CEO of Gold's Gym. Shook his
Nice.
hand. He's a really cool dude. Cool dude. We took those pictures and did the whole promotion. There was a video thing on Facebook that they did, and they had like a little interview, and then they did pictures and all that stuff. So you gotta.
Well, I think it's good you didn't get fat again before you had to go up there to do that part.
Oh well, yeah.
That would have been.
I actually lost more weight between then.
I bet you did. A little bit extra pressure.
Well, no, I mean, I think it was only like another 10 pounds, but so I did that because I was hoping that I was gonna win. I was gonna be able to do that thing, and so I went from 305, and whenever we started, and then when I did that photo shoot, which was July 2019, I went from 305 to 190.
Wow.
Crazy.
And so I met you.
Sorry, 185.
I met you before you went to Gold or to do that photo shoot because I met you guys in June. We met
Right.
you guys in like June of 19. So.
Yeah, so I was still like I was purely focused on that photo shoot at that point. So I was still.
I
going
think the
real
first time
hard.
I met you, you were still eating out of Tupperware.
I was.
Yeah. It was a barbecue over here, and you had your little bowl of.
I ate at Tupperware for like a good
Broccoli or something.
I think I ate at Tupperware for a good solid 6 months.
Wow.
So it's easy when you set goals like that to, Sandra and I, we just did the 100 miles for the
Which,
month of April.
congratulations to the both of you. That's incredible and awesome.
Thank you. But not as credible as what you did because I think weight loss, because all we have to do is get out there and move, right? So, whether we ran or we walked, we still got the 100 miles in. But when you're faced with those mental challenges and those mental barriers, I mean, for over a year, man, you got up, you did the work over and over and over. Think back to those days where you're like, I'm so tired of this. How did you get up in the morning? How did you stay focused in accomplishing that goal? Something that you wanted so dearly, but what was it that kept the train moving?
Well, so I've told you this before, but in the beginning, which I mean, I know you're talking about over the whole span, but in the beginning, you played a big role because you held me accountable for like at least showing up. not maybe like how much work I was doing because I was struggling, but you held me accountable for showing up, which helped me a lot. And I've told you this before, and I appreciate what you did because you could be like, no, I mean, I like working out by myself. You didn't have to like bring yourself back to work with somebody who wasn't nearly at the level you were at. So I mean, you did great for me and helped me in the beginning. It was awesome because I remember you like to tell the stories like when we were running, and I would always complain. You'd be like, "Don't worry, one day you're just gonna be blowing by me." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." Mm-hmm. And so I mean,
I even said it's gonna be quicker than you think it would be, and now you are.
I'm quicker. Not as quicker, but so now the problem is that
I
just
wouldn't say you're
quicker.
quicker than me.
Yeah,
I would say that you can run faster. There's a difference.
Wait, is there?
Yeah.
Quicker.
Yeah.
And faster.
Yeah, you can have a quick start, right? You can start. You can be
his starts are way faster than mine.
Yeah, you could be quick off the line, but long. Like if I'm running 100 meters, I could be faster off the line, which I think I am. In my opinion.
I'm not gonna say one way or the other because
I'm a little dude.
Hey,
we've never
Sean,
tested this.
Sean, it's not how you start. It's how you finish, brother.
See, bingo. That's what I'm talking about, right? So he's faster. He is faster.
He's talking purely start though.
Yes, purely start.
The first 100 yards, I got you, buddy.
Yeah.
And then the
Ooh,
other,
squirrel.
There's a 5.5 miles.
When I lived in Florida, I even though it was great running on the beach in the ocean, but I'd be like, oh look, a dolphin, and then I'd stop, and I'm like, all right, I'm done, and I only went like half a mile.
Yeah.
But that dolphin was beautiful.
Yeah, but what was it that drove you, got you up? You wake up, you're sore, you're tired, you've been doing this for 6 months, and sometimes those results don't come as fast as you would like to see them
because our effort never equals the results that we're seeing. So how did you basically get your mind in check to get over those barriers to say, I'm going to continue to move?
Well, so there was a spot. That was one thing. It's like I told you, there was a spot. Like I hit 6-7 months, and I hit a plateau. I was still working out, but wasn't seeing a lot of change at that point. And that's when the Gold's Gym Challenge thing came in, and it changed. So now, what I realized, what that did for me was, it gave me a new goal. So, in the beginning, my goal was to lose weight. I didn't have like a finish line. I didn't have a goal. My goal was to lose weight. That's a pretty broad goal. Mm-hmm. So, and I think, for a lot of people, when you make a broad goal, it's hard to hold yourself accountable for a broad goal because you can make that goal mean whatever it was. Like my goal was to lose weight. 20 pounds is losing weight.
Yeah, 1 pound.
I could have stopped there. Now, mind you, I still would have been 185 pounds or 285 pounds. That's still big. That's not good. So when I got to a point, I was like, I had to learn to hold myself accountable for what I wanted. But at that point, I didn't know what I wanted. So I turned it into, what do I want? So once I hit that point where I was, those things were sore, I was getting tired. I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I was like, okay, you know what? You don't know what you want. You don't know what you want to do. Let's make a goal. What's the goal? What do you want to hit? And then hold yourself accountable for that. So my goal was to do the Gold's Gym Challenge, and my goal was that entire time was to not cheat on my diet and to hit the gym every day. Regardless of what came of it, like I wanted to win. Of course, I wanted to be number one, and I wanted to win the money. But my goal in that time frame was diet was on point. You're not going to cheat the entire 12 weeks, and you're going to hit the gym every single day. That was my goal. So I held myself accountable to those goals.
How long did you spend in the gym per day on average? Or what was your goal?
So the average was to finish the workout. So regardless of how long that took.
Okay. So that you had pre-planned workouts that you came up with, or they provided for you?
So me and Aubrey, we worked it out together. We basically turned it into like every day I worked out with her, we did like hit style work. And if you don't know what hit style is, high intensity interval training. So that's the stuff I did with her. And then the days I wasn't with her, I would do strength training.
Okay.
So I would always, so it was kind of like a back and forth trying to mixing everything up, but every day had cardio in it. Cardio, you don't have to do cardio to lose weight, but it helps.
Cardio?
Cardiovascular movement.
Oh.
If you don't know Sean, Sean doesn't like the word cardio. What's the word you like?
I don't know. I started to think as soon as I said cardio. Conditioning.
He likes conditioning.
I like to get my conditioning in. Cardio. When I hear the word cardio, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go get on the elliptical. I'm doing cardio.
Which that's
anything that gets your
that
heart,
is. You're right. 100. I agree.
Anything that gets your heart rate up is cardio.
I get that, but I don't know why.
So in Sean's defense, that's exactly what I was doing. Like there was days it was either the row machine, stair stepper, elliptical, bike, treadmill. Like every single day I was doing one or two of those cardio machines along with whatever workout I was doing. So in the beginning, when I think probably the first half of the 12 weeks, so the first 6 weeks, I was probably working out about an hour and a half a day. And then by the end, I was working out 2 to 2.5 hours a day.
Man, okay. That's cool. I think we all kind of have to set those goals. Like for me, if I can, there's days where I do not want to work out, but mentally I know I have to, or for whatever reason. So I'll just say, okay, I'm gonna go get 20 minutes in the gym just so I can get some time in. And sometimes it turns into an hour. Sometimes it turns into 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, done. I just can't do it. I got it.
Well,
but at least you get there.
That's the other thing I learned in this whole process of going from where I was to where I am. I'm no longer 185 pounds anymore because I hit that goal and then my goals changed. My goal wasn't to stay at 185. I was like, okay, so I hit my goal. So what's the goal now? My goal was to work my strength back up to where it was. Because I lost. I mean, you can't go from 305 to 185 in the time span I went and keep the muscle mass you have. It's just not going to happen. So my goal was to go back to where I was, not the weight, but the strength. So that's been my goal. So the thing I've learned throughout that whole process was there's a difference between training for a show or an event or this and training for life. So like currently now I train for life. So I take off days. I don't train every single day. I'm not shooting for a show. I don't have an end goal. My goal is now I have goals like weight training goals and like time goals like for what I want to run and stuff like that. So I train for that, but I don't have a date for those things. So I train for those things. And when I have a day that I'm down and I'm beat, I'm tired, I'll take a rest day. And it's okay. It's okay to take a rest day. I just make sure that rest day doesn't turn into a rest month.
Those are the worst.
Those rest months, man, they'll get you.
Yeah, but they're needed. So there's a lot of discipline in those rest days.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. Make sure those rest days don't turn into rest months.
Yeah, I know. But every now and then,
if I take a rest month, I'll have problems.
Well, you may need it one day. You work so hard for years. Sometimes it's good you take that month off. Just like work. You go to the work, your brain, you're thinking, you're making decisions, you're calculating risk or whatever. When I go on vacation for I think the longest I've gone on vacation is for like 2 weeks. And the first week, it's more of it's a struggle. I'm trying to figure out what do I do with my hands.
Right.
The second week, you can't pull me off the couch.
You can't pull me up because I'm like, oh, this is phenomenal, right? But then I go back to work, and I think the body, the muscles are the same way. Maybe not a month. I think it's different for everybody, but depending on the type of training that you're doing, let's say a professional football player, their body is getting beat up week after week after week, and sometimes it could take a month for your body to heal. And
right
now, running, for example, so an old coach of mine, a CrossFit coach, he said a swimmer, their body starts to decondition after 2 days. Oh, let me go back. 2 days of not 5 days of not swimming. A non-swimmer, just someone who's training in the weight room, their body will start to knock it. Man, I'm messing this all up. Forgive me.
Sorry, old coach.
Yeah. Sorry, but the point is there was a 5 to 7 day window where your body will start to decondition after X amount of days of not training. Now, just because you're not what you consider training now, is where in your gym you're moving weight, you go on vacation, or even for let's say for 30 days, all you do is walk. You walk 10 miles a day. There's no stress on the body. There's no stress on the muscles. Your mind is relaxing because all you're doing is walking. You're not thinking. In fact, you probably will get a little further in your training if you just walk 10 miles a day. Yeah.
Right, but so that comes to the other point of is training for something very specific or training for life. So like for now, like my training for life. So like let's say I take a 2-week vacation and I'm walking 10 miles a day, just looking at the sides, doing this, doing that. It's like there's nothing wrong with that. Like I'm decompressing. I've taken, like you said, the extra stress off the body, but I'm still moving the body. Like so at this point now, because I've been doing this I say so long. I haven't been doing it that long. There's people who've been doing training way longer than I have, but I think some people can understand at a certain point once you've worked out for so long or so many days, and let's say you take a full week off, like you're doing it on purpose. You're taking a full week off, and you're saying, "I'm not going to do anything for a week. I'm not going to train. I'm not going to do this." Sometimes you get a little stir crazy.
Yeah.
After that week, you're like, "Oh."
And it's really hard to go back after a week. I mean,
so that's the problem. It's like some people, it's hard to stay away from a week. It's like you get to a point and you're like, well, what? I need to do something. I need to get out. I need to run. I need to go. I need to do something because now I have all this extra energy because I've sat here and not doing anything. I need to do something. So once you get to a certain point, I think your body and your mind, so for me, like I use working out as a decompressant. Like
decompressant. I like that. Instead of a depressant or deep, was it depressant? No, what are they?
I don't know what you're saying.
Antidepressant or something like that.
Yeah, same thing. It's like an antidepressant.
Decompressant.
I mean, I always, no matter what we did during the workout, and like I pushed hard, whatever. At the end of the day, at the end of the workout, I feel better.
Yep.
My mind, like I could have the worst day at work. It's super stressful, super high stress all day. Give me an hour in the gym, and that melts away.
Well, that was kind of like this morning. I was having a really rough morning, felt horrific, and then you guys started texting, going, "Hey, we're gonna work out. We're gonna work out." I'm like, "No, somebody." Yeah. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. And then I show up, even though it wasn't a really difficult workout, just getting that little bit of a workout in, I felt so much better. I went home. I was like, felt good, ate lunch, fell asleep on the couch.
Yeah, and there's something meaningful behind moving weight around.
Yep.
And it's just, you get that extra energy out, especially at a time like this where you're not Jeremy, because he's
my job hasn't changed.
He's essential.
I'm essential.
But for us, Kirk, we have to find ways, and I'm high energy, so I've got all this energy. I got to get out, and hitting the weights this morning, even though like you said, Kirk, it wasn't hard. It's really just moving the barbell up and down, and that's it. And you go until you just can't move it anymore. But you're not racing, you're not sprinting, you're taking your time. You get a feel for the weight. So I thought this morning was probably one of the best workouts I've had in a while. I mean, I know how important running is, but gosh, man, I was over it.
I was gonna say you ran 100 miles in that month. So
yeah, I was over it.
You did 100. I did 65.
Yeah, you did great.
I think to be honest, it's probably twice as much as I've done in the last year in 1 month. So
like for me, I think I hit 40.
Yeah, but
maybe.
But running's not fun. And I agree, Jeremy. You said I looked forward. So I have a lot of coworkers, and they get up at 4:00 in the morning before they go to work, and they go to the gym they do a 6 o'clock workout, and they're done by 7. They're in the office way earlier than I am. But I just I look forward to it, even though I value a morning workout, especially on the weekend. I'll get up get it done by 9 or start at 9 because it's fun, right? I'm in no rush to get the gym to get the workout done, just because I enjoy it so much. But you know what I love even more right after the workout? What's that?
I know what it is.
A cold brewski.
I knew that was coming.
It's so good. When Sandra and I lived in Florida, we would manage a group called Running for Brews. And for those of you, if you want, there could be one in your area. Go to runningforbrews.com. There's about 20 or so across the nation. They're not running together now, but it was so awesome because every Thursday night we would meet at 7 o'clock. We'd go run a 5K, and then we'd finish it off with a few beers and some good food. But what I took away from that is the people that I met, right? And that's what I love about training. And I enjoy working out by myself. I did not love running by myself because I ran better when I ran with you guys. Especially with Kirk, because I was always in front of him and it made me feel good.
Not always.
For the most part.
Not always.
Kirk's
There were several times that I was in front.
Yeah.
Like a good solid 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Do I need to bring up the half marathon?
That was the half marathon.
I know. I'm just saying. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
That was we need to train for another one.
We said we were going to, and we haven't.
I want to do some trail runs. Jerry, what's next on your bucket list? What's next on your next goal? And maybe it doesn't have to be connected to fitness, right? Whether it be business or whether it be self-development, school. I mean, what's next for you?
Well, so self-development, I'm hoping to get
hoping later down the line I'm gonna get back into school. Go. I think like I love the fact that I'm doing the fitness and I have goals now for the fitnesses too. I'll bring those up. But if you're just doing the body, you're doing yourself a disservice. I feel like you need to do stuff for your mind just as much. You know, that's going to school, learning a language, learning a new skill, something. You have to keep your brain active too. I mean, I think especially like the older I get, I wish the older I get, the more and more I wish I had stuck with school, finished college. And, you know, I mean, I'm highly grateful for the job I have. You know, I work hard and I'm glad I am where I am. But, you know, I wish I would have gone to school so I would have been in a better position. But, you know, it's not late for that, but it's late for where I wanted to be. So I'm hoping to get back into school, try and raise myself up. That's hopefully coming down the line. Also, like I said, fitness, I do have my goals. I'm trying to raise all my numbers on the big four. I call it the big four. There's always people call it the big three, but I put overhead press in there. So, and then I'm also going to try to lower my mile time as well. So I have all those numbers I'm trying to hit. I'm not going to say them on here because I just don't want to be blasted for how weak I am.
Dude,
so hold yourself accountable, bro. Put it out there.
Okay,
put it out there.
So currently my numbers are I got 250 bench, I got 405 deadlift, and a 305 squat.
All right.
And a 145 overhead press. That's strict overhead.
All right. So Monday we started a 6-week strength program. What would you like to hit on all four of those components?
Well, so 6 weeks, I couldn't even imagine what we can have done 6 weeks. But my goals for future.
No, let's set a 6-week goal.
Like I said, I don't know what
you don't know what that's supposed to look like.
I don't know how big a jump I'm supposed to make.
Yeah.
But so what I want to end my stuff on really is I want a 500 pound deadlift, I want a 400 pound squat, and I want a 3-plate bench, which is 315, and then so basically I want to do 5, 4, 3, 2. So I want a 500 dead
Overhead press, 200.
I want a 200 pound overhead press.
Gotcha.
And a 300 bench. And then I would like to get like a 6-minute mile, but I want to be able to do all that in the same time
That's
frame.
moving.
Yeah, no kidding.
I want to do all that in the same time frame. So
Well,
like,
well, you're motivating us, kind of like Sandra and Sean have motivated me and a lot of other people to start running. I've actually noticed several of my friends on Facebook
absolutely
have now posted saying that they're going to do 100-mile May. So you guys started something. Hopefully we can continue it. I'm going to try to get 75 miles, but I'm also going to be working out with you guys. So I don't know. We'll see how that works out.
And I think Sean Emmerling said last night he's going to do 100 miles in May as well.
Really?
Hopefully it rains
That's
today.
cool. Hey, Sean, that doesn't mean on the motorcycle, man. You got to get out and run.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Actually, it's May 2nd. Hopefully you're over 7 miles. Otherwise, you're already behind.
Yep. Nope, I'm not. but-
3.33 miles a day
Yeah,
if
that's
you want to
easy.
get to 100.
That's easy. I got it.
Actually, there's 31 days in May, right? So you got to...
I got an extra day to play with.
Yep.
But you didn't run it
So-
out today, so.
So what, I'm going to throw this out there, and we won't say what it is or anything like that, but you got a big challenge coming this week, Jeremy, and we're praying for you. We're hoping everything works out well for you.
Thanks.
Yeah, because we're going to make him lift 1,000 reps at 95 pounds.
We're gonna lift some heavy things.
1,000 reps.
1,000 reps.
1,000 reps at
reps.
95 pounds. We're praying.
Yeah,
For sure.
but
What?
What are you doing?
I don't know. I was gonna say something,
Don't
but then
touch the board.
I saw the hand come up, and I was like, oh, he's gonna touch something. It's like, ooh, butterfly.
I like
He's getting tired.
touching the buttons. All right, Jeremy, one more thing before we leave. If you were governor of Texas for one day and all the rules, and you were allowed to make one change and nobody could ever change it, what would the change be?
Governor of Texas.
Governor of Texas, the biggest country in the world.
I think it's the state. I think we're a state.
Yeah, well, we're a
Good
country.
try. Good try.
I would make it a law that whenever somebody asks, "Oh, you're from Texas. Did you ride your horse to work?" that person is required to look at that person and punch them in the face.
That's your law. Of all the laws, of anything that you wanted to pass, that's what you would decide?
I mean,
'Cause
if you give me more time, I would probably come
Well,
up with something
that's-
better. But you push the button, and now the music's
Well,
playing.
that's
the
just
first
how
thing-
this works.
That's the first thing that came on my
Put the
mind.
pressure on.
Well, when you
How
get
about
to
this?
interview someone, you get to make the rules.
I agree with you, but let's get something straight. At least I gave an answer. There's
All right, I'm
still
gonna give you one
there's
more
still-
round.
There's still questions I've asked you in other podcasts. You still don't have answers
Well,
for, and those were weeks ago.
This is all about you,
He's still
Jeremy.
going,
All right, Jeremy, I'm gonna give you one
What
more
is that
chance.
Viking name? See, it's been weeks.
Who cares? No one cares about zombies or Vikings, whatever.
Zombie
Hey,
Vikings.
What's your zombie name?
hey guys, we're the Randall Podcast crew. Thanks again for listening.
Thank
Thanks,
y'all.
guys.
Appreciate you joining us.